Guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela, and welcome back to another video I started every month this year. It is May 5th, 2025. I tried to go to the DMV this morning, but they pissed me off. I waited outside for half an hour before they opened, and by the time I got there, there was 50 people in front of me, and I still waited another 45 minutes for them to tell me that my birth certificate was null and void because it has my maiden name on it. I need proof of marriage. So, yeah, if you guys are going to get a real ID in the U.S. right now, you have to have a two things, a bill, two bills possibly with your address. You have to have your marriage license. You have to have your birth certificate. You have to have your social security card and your driver's license. Because those things, without my marriage license, none of it worked. Because they have to have proof of legal name, born, proof that you got married, and your married name. And that's only to you, those of you that are married. So I was kind of pissed off this morning because I spent an hour and a half there for nothing. I could have slept in this morning and then went later. And my husband's the one that told me, and then we have to have it done by the 7th, which is in 2 days. And I didn't even know about this until a couple weeks ago. And, yeah, I'm just really irritated. And this is my day off. I took the day off just because I had an extra day I needed to get rid of by the end of May. And I'm going to be spending it at the DMV, apparently. I spent 2 hours this morning almost, and then I'm going to have to go back later and spend another God knows how long waiting to get this new ID that I never asked for. That, even though my other one is expired for another year, is going to be null and void as of 2 days from now. So, whatever. Anyway, we're doing a world event spread. I started doing these every year, every month this year, consistently. I forgot the other day that I hadn't done it this month. Mind you, it is only the 5th, but I usually like to do it on the 1st. I've got what's left of my coffee here, working on. And then after I get this uploaded, I'll be going back to the DMV. Anyway, if you're just tuning in, I do a year ahead spread every month. I got this offline. I'll post a link below if I can remember. But it's 4 cards, and I actually started with the Tempest Tarot because I'm finding more and more that I really like using pip decks for this spread, because 2 of the cards, it doesn't matter what number it is or what card it is. It matters what suit it is. So it makes a difference, and you can use pip decks for that. So yeah, I'm finding more and more I like using pip decks, and I'm really into this because I just got it. The mass market version, and then I got the Answer Oracle underneath, which I'm really digging. That was like $12 on Amazon. Anyway, first question: what is the next event that will affect the world? We got the King of Pentacles, and if that ain't right, the King of Money, the King of Monetary Value. Interesting. And then what's the manipulate? Use arrangement strategy. So yeah, there's politically there's always something going on lately. Always, because of who's in office. So this does not surprise me at all. We're always, depends on whose side you're on. We're always waiting with bated breath to find out what he's going to do next. So that makes total sense. That he would pop out in this deck, or in this spread, because yeah, we never know what he's going to do or say ever. Yeah, there is of course, some manipulation going on. I'm pretty sure this has to do with the presidency, whatever strategies he's doing or arrangements he's made. He's basically treating everybody like puppets. So, I don't know what event this is. I just know it has to do with him, with the president. Quite interesting. we already know all of this other stuff has been happening, so whatever. Number 2, where will this happen? We got the Five of Swords, which in itself is a negative. There's a battle, fighting. Okay, so this is going to be some type of war, obviously, and I've been saying that since he was president the first time. He almost made us go to war the first time. If he doesn't succeed in making us go to war the second time, I'll be shocked. So, yeah. So, the Five of Swords, there's a battle. Clearly, the ship's going down. There's a big battle. The ship is being bombarded, and it's got cannons going on. And then what's the Ancient Oracle say? It's reflections, confession, prayer, repentance. It's a time of... yeah, just every time I pull a spread here lately, it gives me goose pimples, because I know we're headed for some bad stuff. And for those people that voted for are really going to understand this time around just the mistake they made. Just how big a mistake they made in voting him in. I still don't think that it was... I think this was probably the first ever rigged voting. Because it just... there's no way. Anyway, I'm not getting too much into it anymore. These are all my opinions, not facts. If I offend, I'm sorry. I don't try to talk about politics on this channel, but every single time I pulled a year ahead spread lately, it's about him. So I can't help what the cards are saying. Anyway, number 2 was where will this happen? And I just went on a tangent because of what they are, which is crazy. But the Five of Swords, swords is east. And east is Washington, D.C. from me. So, yeah, it's all making sense coming up. It's all coming up. Mr. President. Anyway. And I've been, for a long time I was getting fire in these. And then the California fires happened. I'm like, maybe that's what I was seeing. But and I've always said, there's a war coming. There's some kind of war. There's some kind of battle happening. And I've been saying that for probably well over a year, because I was seeing things in other cards before I ever started doing the world event spreads that contributed to my thoughts on there's a war coming and it's going to wind up here in the U.S. So be prepared. Number 3 is roughly the time frame this will happen. And the Seven of Cups. So the Cups are, and this is all about choices, and I swear probably a year and a half ago, maybe sooner than that, I did a spread where I talked about war, battle. I don't know that the Seven of Cups came up, but there was something about the choices we make. And it was and I actually did 2 different spreads. One probably 8 or 9 months ago, and then one over a year ago. Both of them had the connotations of war, and both of them, I think, did have a sort of cups and all about choices. The choices we make will affect the ensuing future. So yeah, that's crazy, because it's all coming up the same as those 2 spreads, and I'll try to post those 2 specific spreads below if I can find them. But and let's see what the comply, rules, laws, unwritten rules. And see that today with the this is all feeling like the same thing as those spreads I've done prior. Something he's doing is going to cause us to go to war, and it's not going to be pretty. I don't know if you guys have watched The Handmaid's Tale, but I couldn't get through the first episode. I was so cringed by what was happening to women. And this just reminds me of this, but on a more global scale, because it's not just women. It's men, women, children. People are trying to take away what's already rightfully ours, our freedom. And this spread speaks to that very deeply on this... with this comply and unwritten rules, laws, there's going to be all these made up laws that don't need to be in existence. That's going to become a thing. We're headed for a new norm that is not something we're used to. And it makes me angry. Just like today, when I went to the DMV, now I need proof that I'm married, even though the driver's license I have has my married name on it, and it's the same DMV office that gave me that license. Can't they look that up on file and know that I'm married? I don't need my marriage license. But for some reason, when she said I'm going to need that also, the amount of paperwork I now have to prove that I'm, one, a married woman, and two, a U.S. citizen, just, it tweaked something in me that I didn't know existed. It was like, what is happening? Why? Why do I need to prove who I am to you? Some lady at the DMV. And it hit me the wrong way this morning. And that could be why all this is coming up now, because it's only going to get worse from here. So, Seven of Cups, roughly the time frame this will happen. So we have some kind of manipulation, something happening in the east. And the time frame this will happen, cups are autumn or twilight. So around autumn time, we will start to see some of these laws, rules changing, not to our benefit, but in a deeper, darker way. We will start to see these begin to be implemented on a bigger, larger scale. Wow. Okay, last card is, what impact will it have on the world? We have the Queen of Swords. I am the Queen of Swords. This will cause everyone to be mistrustful of everybody. There will be riots. There will be friend turning on friend, brother turning on brother, that sort of thing. Which gives me goosebumps because it says that in Revelations at the end of times in the Bible. So, I'm not getting religious on you guys. I'm just saying I've read that part in the Bible where it says brothers will turn against brother. And I don't know that this is the end of times, but this could be the beginning of something not good for humanity. Period. Yeah. And then we have, give up the previous plan, release old patterns, embrace change, clear the way for renewal. And I say nuts to that. I say, and the fact that this is an airport, wow. It's an airplane. And there's luggage. I had a dream many, many, many years ago. Not many, 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 but since my spiritual journey started, about being in an airport, and I was giving birth, and the child was violently ripped from me, and there was all this cold steel, and I realized I was the airport. I was a medium, and then I was the airport. I was in charge of connecting departures and arrivals, newborns and people passing, and everything in between. I was the airport. But in this instance, I see with all these other, it's kind of a brainwash thing. It's like, oh, this is good for you, let's do it. And it's not good for you. It's something that will be starting to strip away, slowly but surely, our rights, our laws, our humanity. And just like if you boil, they say when you cook a frog, you cook it slow. It's on a slow simmer, so it doesn't realize it's being boiled to death. It's the same exact concept with this card. It's the same exact, they're going to take one thing away and then give you 5 other things that have, really you could do without. But you're like, oh, I'm getting all these free things, da-da-da-da-da, and it's not helping you. It's slowly taking your sight away from the real goals of things. The real things of what's happening behind the scenes. clear the way for renewal. Yeah, it's not going to be a renewal. It's going to be something that, again, is stripping away our rights, our laws, our rules, our regulations, our humanity in ways that we are slowly being cooked to death and don't realize it. That's what I see here. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate to comment below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos. Y'all have a good afternoon.